In this video, we're going to show you how to navigate around the interface in Adobe Illustrator. With the Adobe Suite, there's multiple ways of doing the same thing, certainly in Adobe Illustrator in any case. And while there can be nuances, we're just going to show you the basics. Selecting an object, let's start there. Literally the easiest thing, the left click of a mouse button. Click, 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 we are now selecting things. Moving it around, literally clicking and dragging it around. To select multiple things, we can, well, first I'll show you deselect. In order to deselect, you click off it by clicking on the empty space, any empty space, so it can be the white area in your artboard or in the gray area around your artboard. Clicking off that, done. Selecting multiple things is done by two ways. Making sure to select an object first, holding down the shift button on your keyboard, clicking on another object, letting go of your shift button on your keyboard, and now you can move these two together. The other way is to click, hold down, and drag what we call a marquee over several objects, and now they work together. In order to remove something, select it, delete it, using the delete or backspace button on your keyboard. In order to undo, Control Z, just like in normal applications, and redo. If I do a couple of things here, I can undo that, redo, Command Shift Z or Control Shift Z, same thing. Zooming in is done using Control or Command plus and minus. So this is in, Control, Command minus out, and resetting the view just resets it to the size of your application window. It also is really useful because sometimes you might want to work across in the other area here, just like we've got here. That's not creepy at all. Some other work over here. You might be doing some stuff and then you want to bring it over here onto your artboard later on. You might not know where you are in space over here either, so Command 0 resets your view. Panning, you saw me do that, holding spacebar. Copy paste, I'm not going to go through that. We all understand Command C, Control C, Command V. Now let's go over to our interface features and quirks. We've got triangles, so wherever you see a triangle, something is going to happen. If I click this triangle over here, that triangle is going to expand that, and if I click that, it's now going to retract that. Similarly, if I look in this area over here, I have got a triangle in the bottom right hand side corner, and if I click and hold that out, new things come. So it's Adobe's way of space saving essentially. Additionally, you would have seen that if I held that down, I also have over here another arrow, and when I click this arrow, it tears it off. That's useful for me sometimes if I'm just working on my stuff and I don't want to always go in here, press and hold. So it's a bit of a time saver. Hamburger menu. So we'll be familiar with these on a website. We've got these three lines and a menu pops up. Same thing in Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. You'll notice when I open up my palette window, I've got this. If I click on that right now, it'll come up with a flyout. It has additional options there. Additionally, I can actually say show options, and I have more options that come up for this particular palette. So say I've got this line, go to my stroke, show options. This is where I can control certain things there, like adding arrowheads or removing them, dash lines, no dash lines, etc. In order to reset my workspace, sometimes people like to have a real funky workspace. That annoys me. In order to reset that, the window menu, workspace, and I can say reset JC. Now, you won't have JC on yours because this is a custom workspace that I made for myself. You'll be using either Essentials or Essentials Classic. While we're here, the window menu contains, in alphabetical order, the different palettes that you can find. So my layers palette is already open. It shows it with a tick. Anything that's not open or expanded, there won't be one. So if I want a line, click on that, bang, it shows me where that is. Let's look at our preferences now. Under the name on a Mac, you've got preferences, and these are all your preferences. On a PC, that'll be held underneath the edit menu, roughly around in here. For that matter, let's go to units and change. By default, it's on points. I don't know how to measure in points, but I know how to measure in millimeters. If I had this circle over here, I can actually type in 50 by 50, and I know it's a perfect circle. I don't know how to judge that in points and what that means. For now, that's it. I know that was a quick overview. Hopefully that's enough to get you along your way.